Let me tell you a story that might sound unbelievable at first, but the truth behind it touches millions of people, even those who don't realize it. This is a story of a man who had more money than he could spend in a lifetime, more influence than most politicians, and more luxuries than any person could justify. Yet he could not sleep, not a single night of peace. Everyone around him saw the image of success, the penthouse above the city, the expensive suits, the admiration of employees, the respect of financial elites. People said he was lucky, blessed, destined for greatness, but none of them were with him when the world became quiet. None of them saw what happened behind the heavy doors of his mansion when the lights went out, because while the city slept, he was wide awake, trapped inside a silence that felt heavier than any responsibility he carried during the day. It wasn't insomnia caused by stress or caffeine, nor a medical condition. It was something deeper, something most people fear to confront. For years, he believed that wealth would buy him everything: comfort, reputation, admiration, even a sense of purpose. But the only thing he could not purchase, borrow, negotiate, or force into existence was peace inside his own mind. During the daytime, distractions protected him. Every call, every meeting, every decision, every noise worked like armor. People needing him, screens lighting up, deals being closed. All of this kept the inner silence away. But when night arrived and the house finally calmed down, his own thoughts came for him. They came quietly at first, then loudly, then all at once. They reminded him of the people he stepped over on his way up, the promises he didn't keep, the moments with his family he traded for work, the friendships that faded because he believed he had no time, the opportunities he wasted because he was too proud to listen, and the truth he avoided his entire life. He had money, but not meaning, comfort, but not clarity, influence, but not inner rest. In a mansion full of luxury, he felt like the poorest man in the world. He tried everything to silence the nights: expensive pillows, perfect lighting, soundproof rooms, sleep specialists, meditation apps, herbal teas, even retreats, promising complete mental resetting. Nothing worked. He traveled to resorts designed exclusively for millionaires, seeking calm. He changed cities, then countries, thinking maybe a different environment would fix what he felt. But every night, regardless of location, climate, or comfort, the same thoughts returned as soon as darkness filled the room. Not because the world was noisy, but because his soul was. And then, something unexpected happened. After one of the longest nights of his life, he got out of bed before the sun rose and went for a walk. He left the mansion without security, without elegant clothes, without anything that reminded him of the status he held. For the first time in years, he walked as just a man, not a figure of power. The city was silent, the streets were empty, and the morning air carried a kind of peace that felt foreign to him. He wandered until he reached a small park, where an elderly man was sweeping the sidewalk. An ordinary worker, simple clothes, simple tools, simple life, but there was something extraordinary about him. He was humming a song, a calm, soft melody, as if the morning itself was a gift. Curious, the rich man approached and asked, "How do you wake up this early and still smile?" The old man paused, looked at him gently, and replied, "Because I don't go to sleep with unfinished battles inside me." Those words hit harder than any sleepless night. Unfinished battles. Not with the world, but with himself. Battles of guilt, fear, regret, pride, loneliness. He realized that he had invested millions building a life people admired, but almost nothing building a life he himself could rest inside. He had worked tirelessly to look successful, but rarely worked to feel whole. For the first time, he asked himself a painful but necessary question. What is the point of having everything if I cannot rest inside my own mind? That question didn't change his life in an instant, but it became the beginning of something new. Slowly, he began to realign his priorities. He reconnected with people he had pushed away. He apologized where he needed to. He simplified his obligations, walked away from business deals that drained him, and began saying no to people who only valued him for what he had, not who he was. He spent more time with himself, and not in luxury retreats, but in simple places, with simple moments. And little by little, the night stopped feeling like an enemy. He learned that peace is not purchased like property, nor built like an empire. Peace is cultivated. Peace is choosing honesty over appearances, meaning over vanity, connection over applause, and gradually, sleep returned, not because his mansion became quieter, but because his soul did. And that's the part most people refuse to learn. The richest sleep is the sleep of someone who is at peace with who they are. You can buy a softer bed, a bigger house, a more comfortable lifestyle, but you cannot buy a quieter conscience. True wealth is not measured by what you own, but by what no longer controls you. And in the end, the man who once had everything finally understood something people spend a lifetime ignoring. Money brings comfort, but only truth brings rest.